What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. We got a lot of NASCAR news to go over in today's video. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. So the first thing we are going to be talking about is the Fall Talladega race sponsorship. So Yellowwood, I don't know what Yellowwood does. It's like a construction company, I think. Will be sponsoring the Fall Talladega race in 2022, 2020, and 2021. This is according to Adam Stern. On to the next story. Bristol and Food City have renamed the Cup Series race to the Supermarket Heroes 500 in honor of the people working in the grocery stores who have worked through the COVID-19 virus. They will be sponsoring the Supermarket Heroes 500. I like the name. It sounds really, really cool. It's the first time Food City is not sponsoring it. They are technically sponsoring, but this is the first time that Food City is not the name of the race for the first time since 1996 or 1997. I can't remember the last time they ever ran Food City as for the spring Bristol race. But yeah, I understand why they did it for this one. Supermarket Heroes 500. Pretty cool name, to be quite honest with you. On to the next story, we're going to be talking about the Coca-Cola 600 TV ratings. According to Adam Stern, the race earned a 2.4 rating and 3.96 million viewers for the Coca-Cola 600. This is down from 2.6 and 4.26 million last year. Now, to be quite honest with you, I am a little bit disappointed in the TV ratings. At first, I was completely disappointed, but I'm a little bit disappointed. Not as much, though, because there's a few factors around it. Number one, there was this golf thing called The Match, which had a bunch of celebrities paired up with a lot of golf legends, like Phil Mickelson, I think had Tom Brady. I can't remember who was teared up. I did not watch the event, by the way, but I know a lot of people watched that. And that took up a lot of the ratings. And unfortunately, once the match ended, the rain delay started. And because of that rain delay, it lost a lot of viewership. Apparently, according to someone, they said that there was trending upward, but unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And unfortunately, the ratings are not very good for this race. Again, it's down. And also not to mention that the race was not very good. I think a lot of people were starting to tune out in the second half of the race just because it kind of got boring. I don't blame people if you did not finish watching this race. Because to be quite honest with you, the Coca-Cola 600 this year, compared to last year's race, was just horrible. It was not enjoyable. It got better in the second half. The outside lane, the traction compound, the PJ1 grip started kind of coming in the second half. But it kind of because I think it got washed out a little bit, it made the racing kind of bad, and then it started coming in once heat got onto the racetrack. Because there wasn't much heat in the first half. As more cars were going up there, it got better, and the racing was a lot better. It was not great, but it was a little bit better throughout the night. But yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed in the ratings, but I'm completely not surprised. I hope that the race at Charlotte, which might happen tonight, I'm not really sure. The weather doesn't look great for the race, to be honest with you. We'll talk a little bit about that here at the end of this episode. But yeah, the Coco 600 TV ratings were not very good, and hopefully they get better for the next race. Now we get into the next story. We got some more ideas on the starting lineup procedures. And here are how the starting lineup procedures are going to work. So for all 5 races that are coming up, they are going to be using the random draw system that they have used in the past at multiple other races, like Charlotte and Darlington. So Bristol, Atlanta, Barnesville, Homestead, and Talladega will have the random draw system. So how it works is the top 12 and honors points will have a random draw. 13th or 24th will have a random draw. 25th or 36th will have a random draw. And the final 4 that do not have the charters, so do not have the charters, the open teams will draw as well. Again, it makes sense they're doing this. Unfortunately, no more inverted fields, which really sucks. But hey, we'll find out some crazy starting lineups, that's for sure. I mean, you're going to see probably almost the same people up in front. Top 12 in points will do their top 12 in points. We'll go for it, and then the rest of them will go for as well. So I'm not surprised that this is how they're doing this system. Again, the starting lineup procedures are really interesting. I'm intrigued to see how the starting lineups are going to go for the near future. Because, I've liked the random draws. It does give a little bit of a gimmick, but, they're trying to save money. They're trying not to bring these teams out there and qualify all the time. I'm kind of interested to see how Talladega was, if they were going to do the random draw or not for that, because they were doing all this other stuff where there's no practice or qualifying. But they're actually, interestingly, for the Talladega race, there actually is going to be a practice session that is going to take place. So very interesting that Talladega is doing a random draw, but they're also going to have a practice session. So yeah, you're still going to have teams at the racetrack, but yeah, very interesting to see how this plays out. Now we get into the next story. AJ Allmendinger. Yes, AJ Allmendinger is going to be running the Xfinity Series race at Bristol, driving the number 16 Kaulig Racing Chevrolet. Now, to be honest with you, I am really, really excited to see how AJ Allmendinger is going to do here at Bristol. Hoping the car does not fail inspection, because it seems like every race except the Charlotte Roval race that he won, it seems like that car always ended up failing inspection. He ended up basically finishing last. Hopefully the car ends up being legal like it did last time when he ran. And unfortunately, they didn't qualify last time at Daytona, but they should be able to go, good to go. They haven't been told they can go home or can't go home and all that other jazz. But I'm really excited. I think if that car, if the car is as good as the Kaulig cars have been this year, he has a really good shot, in my honest opinion, to go out there and win. That team has had a lot of speed. They had a lot of speed at Charlotte last week. I mean, they got They had 2 cars in the top 5 at one point throughout that race. Justin Haley was up there contending for the lead-up points. That team was really, really fast last week at Charlotte. They have been somewhat better this year. Again, the competition is weaker, so Allmendinger should have a shot to win the race if that car is legal. If not, they'll probably fail inspection again. Who really knows? Now we get into the next story. Carson Ware will be making his Xfinity Series debut. He will be driving the 07 SS Greenlight / Rick Ware racing car. Remember, SS Greenlight and Rick Ware are partnered up for the rest of the 2020 season, so expect a bunch of Rick Ware racing drivers to be driving that 07 car, since Ray Black Jr. announced that he will not be racing currently at the moment to help his family's business ventures. I've never really known Carson Ware too much. I don't know how good of a driver he is or not, so I can't really give my opinion on Carson Ware. But he is, I think, a son of Rick Ware or cousin of Rick Ware. I don't really know. Or like the nephew of Rick Ware. I really don't know. But yeah, Rick Ware funding people to get into cars. Yeah, Carson Ware is a name I don't think I've ever heard of him before. I don't expect too much from him, because I'd have never heard of him. I've heard he's got 2 late model wins. Most people are kind of saying he just doesn't deserve the ride. I don't know much about him personally, so I'm not going to give my full association. But congrats, Carson Ware, who will be making his Xfinity Series debut here later this year at Bristol. Now we get into the next story, and this is a story I wanted to talk about. So, the Bristol race that was originally supposed to be run on Saturday has had to be moved to Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Because the Cup Series race has been postponed to today at 7 p.m. Eastern, they are pushing the Xfinity Series race back to Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And the reason this is because there's not enough time to move the equipment from Charlotte to Bristol. I think that makes a lot of sense, because if you run the Cup race tonight, you're only really going to have a day and a half to get the equipment there. There's not going to be enough time to move it, and it's not even sure if we're going to have a Cup race tonight. Looking at the weather forecast, it's looking iffy if we're going to get one or not. There's a big thunderstorm that's coming through because of Tropical Storm Bertha postponed the race. Granted, they could have gotten the race in last night, but the weather was not looking very good. So I'm not surprised that they moved it. They were talking about this throughout the day, that they were going to move the Xfinity Series race possibly to Monday, the race at Bristol. First time they're running Xfinity Series race at Bristol, or Xfinity Series race on Monday, that's not affected by rain. Well, it is affected by rain for the Xfinity Series for the Saturday race. There was rain possibly in the forecast for that Xfinity Series race as well, so they might have had to move it regardless, because weather was iffy if they were going to get that in or not. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for a Monday night race. It's going to be fun. I don't think there's going to be any Cup drivers in that race as well, because I think the Dash for Cash starting, which we'll talk about here in a second, but Dash for Cash, we'll talk about here in a second. But yeah, very interested to see how this race goes. Speaking of which, as I just mentioned, the Dash for Cash, that's the final story. The Dash for Cash has been announced. So there will be a qualifier at Bristol. Race 1 will be at Atlanta. Race 2 at Homestead. Race 3 at Talladega. And then race number 4, it depends on when the next scheduled race is. The top 4 finishers of the race at Bristol will compete at Atlanta Motor Speedway for that. And the highest finisher in each of the races will get $100,000. So you get a big one, 6 figures worth of money. I'm really excited because, again, there's no Cup drivers that are allowed in these Dash or Cash races, so we get to see the best Xfinity Series drivers go at it. I think Chase Briscoe is going to be the favorite to win these races because Chase Briscoe, in my honest opinion, is the best driver in the Xfinity Series right now. I think he's a favorite to win a championship there as well. Hopefully, I don't jinx him because I think he's got a really good shot to win a title. He probably had a shot to win that Charlotte race, but really never got a chance because the tire went down and just never had a shot. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how this Dash for Cash will play out here in the next few weeks. So anyway, that is going to be it for this episode of NASCAR News. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications on so you can be notified when a video does go live for my channel. The support recently has been insane. We've been getting a lot of new subscribers and a lot of new faces on this channel, and I hope we continue to make more people come and enjoy the content. I'm really enjoying being back on YouTube. It's been really, really fun since I returned from my little break. So, anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.